right, Gary, so you're a filmmaker here tonight. Can you explain sort of what your process was and how you use AI to make your film?
Sure. With all of AI or whatever, you approach it as a story first, and that was where it sort of started, and I just had this idea for a story of somebody whose life is so scripted, that they have no agency of their own, and what happens when they're left to create their own. And that was kind of the gist of it, and it was also about rebirth, and it was about people kind of creating their own identities, so it touched on a whole bunch of stuff. And then so that was really the gist of it, and I thought the idea of the drone made some sense, it fit with the general world, and that was kind of the gist of it, really.
And what were some of your biggest challenges using AI for this project?
Well, with all AI, it's getting it to do exactly what you want, which is kind of also plays on the theme of the film. But then it's also being willing to kind of surrender to what it's going to give you a little bit, being willing to change, be flexible enough that you can kind of change your creative and follow where it's leading you. So keep the story, but in terms of that's not exactly what I was thinking, but it's good, and then going from there, and so it's fun that way because it sort of teaches you to be flexible.
Yeah, for sure. And going into sort of hybrid films and the bigger picture of film and AI in general, what do you think the future of AI and film look like?
Well, I think AI is such a big, it's a small word, but it encompasses a lot of things. I work a lot with a team called Bunny Cave in Montreal, and we're trying to build a hybrid model. And we've done some commercial work in some projects where it literally is a hybrid, they're traditional VFX and CG, but coupled with AI. So that's obviously a place where you can use it to sort of augment traditional post-production. But then there's also, when we win this one project, all the pitch deck for the director we did it all in AI, and the storyboards, so a lot of the pre-pro stuff is ready for AI right now, and a lot of the proof of concept stuff and the test stuff, the behind the scenes thing to get everybody on the same page, that's all ready to go right now. And the post tools are coming into play. Whether or not it will take a leading role in film, in a hybrid film, it will at some point. The same way that it took 30 odd years before you had a Gollum in Lord of the Rings. It took CG 30 years to get to that point, right? So AI is only 4 years old, so it will come.
You mentioned it will become a prominent part of storyboarding and planning. Do you think that takes away any agency or creativity from the directors or the writers behind it, or empowers them further?
No, because the storyboard is always at the service of the director. All you're doing is trying to articulate their vision. It's never a case where the storyboard goes to the artist, goes to the director and says, "Here you go." You're always at the you're working at the service of the creative idea. So what it does is and no disrespect to storyboard artists, because they're phenomenally talented people, but they're not sitting in the room with the director a lot of the time. So an AI artist or a director who's got some facility can do it right then and there, and it can make it interactive. It can change things quickly, and it's a great tool. It's not something to be afraid of. It's not something that's going to take stuff away or make things worse. It will just make it easier to get out what you need to get out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.